We all have a story. Your story is not my story, and my story is not yours. However, we can find joy, hope, and emotional healing even through our most painful moments in life. Let's walk and take this journey of healing together, one step at a time, because your story does not define you. Hey there, God's beautiful people. It's a beautiful day always, even when it doesn't feel like it. Look, we made the cut, and God's grace and mercy has shined upon us once again. So let us definitely be grateful and, rejoice in the day. What a blessing. Dr. Niesha here, and welcome back to Your Story Does Not Define You, the podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, I want to say welcome and thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on this platform on Your Story Does Not Define You, the podcast. I am looking forward to you following this podcast and sharing it with a friend. And I just want to take a moment and say thank you so much to all of you out there that have been providing me feedback and telling me how much you have been enjoying the podcast and how you've been sharing it with your friends. And look, I'm loving the energy. I love the fact that you guys are dialoguing with me, and it means so much to me. So I just want to take this time and say thank you and say that I appreciate you and I appreciate your kindness and support. So what's your vibe today? Because remember, we got to check that temperature and check our daily vibes. My vibe today has been grateful. I definitely have been in a space of gratefulness this week. I started a new project a couple of weeks ago. And, I've been diving into a little bit more of, meeting with people and completing some therapy sessions as a result of this project, and just listening to people's different stories and different things that have been taking place. It just really has put me in a space of gratitude because, like I always say, we all have a story. I have a story, and, I'm just so grateful that God has just been with me and walk with me through my journey and has got me to the place that I am today. So yeah, just grateful and in a space of gratitude for sure. So today I'm here with the beautiful, lovely lady, Vicki Kemp, author of Better Than Yesterday and Grace in Deep Waters. And I'm so excited to have her here today to have this conversation that we're going to have today about rejection. So before we dive in, Lady Vicki Kemp, what is your vibe today?
Hey y'all, I think it's a chill vibe. It's a chill Netflix vibe kind of night.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
I love it. I'm glad that you're here.
Tell them what time it is.
Y'all, it's about 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in Bakersfield. We're recording this podcast, but we're going to get it done, right?
That's right. We're going to get it done.
So before we get started, we're going to be having a conversation about rejection. And that's something that's been kind of present in the world today. And I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it. And Lady Kemp, she's had a lot of conversations about rejection on her different platforms. Early Will I Seek Thee, and her book, Better Than Yesterday. So, so I thought she would be the perfect person. So before we get started, Lady Kemp, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself for those out there that don't know you?
Wow. Hello, world. Hello, podcast world. Again, my name is, let's do Vicki Kemp tonight.
Okay. I love it.
It's that kind of vibe. It's a chill vibe. So, Vicki Kemp, I am the wife of a bishop, however. We have 5 children. I am a retired service coordinator, social worker for Kern Regional Center, which specializes in special needs from all different facets of mental health and different disabilities. I am an author. I'm a ghostwriter.
All right.
I love sisterhood. I'm an advocate for it. I love my children. I love being a grandma. And I love helping women get to their next season in life, wherever they may be. I try my best to encourage them to bloom where you are planted. So I could say so much more, but that's just the gist of it. That's who I am.
And she's being humble, y'all.
But let's just say. Don't forget. And I'm excited to be on let me clap you up, because sisters support sisters.
Thank you.
And I'm super excited that you took the leap of faith, because you are such an amazing woman, I'm going to say, in the world, because we're on a podcast.
That's right.
And I want to congratulate you for launching this new platform, because you have so much to say from your line of work. I am also a podcaster.
Yes, she is.
Vicki L. Kemp's podcast. But it's a blessing when we can bring our talents together, and we can learn and glean from one another. So I'm super excited to be your guest on your show today.
Thank you. Definitely excited to have you, and thank you for that. But she's being humble, y'all. She's a beautiful woman, and she does genuinely love to help women. So before we end, I'm going to definitely give her the opportunity to talk about some events that she has coming up. For y'all that are familiar, Fireproof 8. It's going to be on and cracking in Bakersfield.
Excited.
So let's dive in, Lady Kemp.
Let's go.
So as we talk about this topic of rejection, can you just give us a little bit of insight in regards to what is your story with rejection?
Listen, where do I start? Okay, I've been a leading lady, pastor's wife for 23 years this year.
Wow.
And man, I could say so much. Let me sip a little water. You know, it's a chill night, so let me wet my throat. I could say so much about it. I think when I first became a pastor's wife, I dealt with it in so many different forms, because if I could be candid about it, I didn't know my worth and my value. And I wanted approval from people. Being a new pastor's wife. I come from a small family. I have 4 brothers. Married my husband. He has 10 sisters. He had 10 sisters and 5 brothers. So huge family. So I found myself wanting acceptance from people, and I didn't get that. I was rejected a lot. However, I realize now that I have grown. It was because I didn't know my worth and my value.
Wow.
And going through rejection was painful, because you want everybody to like you. You want to be friends with people. You want to be accepted. Because my personality is so big with love. But I had to learn to harness that and control that emotion, that I wouldn't be taken advantage of. And now I realize some of the rejection was God's way. You've heard that a lot. I think that's cliche in the world, but it's definitely true that it was God's way of protecting me. But rejection was really, really painful in my life. Like, I'm just his wife by default. And now I'm judged. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, and I made a lot of mistakes. I talked a lot, if we could just be honest, because you're wanting to be justified and accepted. Word, I believe that word accepted is attached to rejection. But I thank God for my growth and evolving. But I think that was part of it, like not knowing who I was.
So you said a lot of good things right there. Like I hear you talk about acceptance, not knowing your worth and value, and not really knowing who you were at the time. And so when we look at the word rejection, you know, it means to be kind of like turned down, turned away, or dismissed by people. And then that word acceptance that you said, that is so profound that you said it, because that is a part of people being rejected, right? Because you want to be accepted. So if you can just kind of like expand on that emotional piece, how it affected you emotionally and mentally, what type of distress did you experience as a result of feeling rejected?
Sometimes sadness. Like sadness, you know, you would go to church and you would try to connect. And it's like at moments I knew. See, when you're going through it, you don't really know. This might sound so crazy, y'all. When you're going through it, you might not understand it. But when you grow and you look back on it, now I look back on it, I can honestly say that you want to be accepted, and it makes you sad,
right?
Because you're trying hard and you're working hard to be accepted,
right?
And you're constantly being rejected. But it's like you're not supposed to have relationships with some of these people anyway,
right? Wow,
you know what I mean,
right?
So that's the part of it that I felt was sadness, trying to fit in, because you have this pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I wasn't an evangelist. Mm-hmm. I was just this little girl
mm-hmm.
that was 23 years old.
Wow.
And I think he became a pastor 2 years later after we were married. So I'm trying to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy because my mother
mm-hmm.
was a pastor's wife. I'm a PK kid.
Okay.
But I didn't see all that. Maybe I was hidden from that.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see my mother experience. Maybe she was stronger at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't as strong.
Mm-hmm.
So I experienced a lot of sadness, a lot of hidden tears,
mm-hmm.
Emotionalism.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't make sense.
Okay.
When I look back on it, I'm like,
right.
Girl, why was you tripping like that?
Right.
And I think sometimes when we deal with rejection, for me, I think sometimes I brought it on myself. Because when you realize you're not being accepted, leave people alone. You see it.
Okay.
But
so would you say that you kind of like, when you say you brought it on yourself, do you feel like you went out your way to try to be accepted?
Too many times.
Okay.
So that's why I said what I said. Yeah,
okay.
Too many times. Like, if you know, but I think at that moment, I didn't really know what it was.
Got it.
I just know that it was emotional and I wanted to hang out with this. I'm just giving an example. Hang out with this person, know this woman better, want to be a part of their group. And it's crazy because I had already had friends. I didn't need other friends.
Right.
I had sisters that genuinely loved me. You know, my girlfriends, they genuinely cared about me. But when you become a part of a different arena,
that's what it is.
There's a different part of acceptance you desire to have.
Right.
Like, I didn't know how I was supposed to look.
Got it.
You get? Am I making sense to y'all?
You make sense. You make sense. So that leads me to another question that I want to ask you. So you're talking about your role and in the space of being a first lady. So you wear so many hats and you have so many roles. So you are a mother, you're a first lady, you're a grandmother, you're a friend, you're an author. You have a big sisterhood that you guys have been friends for a long time. And then you also speak into the lives of so many people. So with all the roles and the hats that you wear, do you feel like rejection has showed up in other areas besides being a first lady?
Ooh, therapist. These are good questions. You're making me really, really think. Do I feel like rejection has showed up in different areas? I would say yeah.
Okay.
I would say yeah.
Okay.
In different areas. But I've learned because you say I wear a lot of different hats.
Right.
So I've learned, and I am forever learning.
Okay.
I feel like I'm gonna always be on a journey to learn, because we should.
Right. Absolutely.
We
I agree.
should constantly be evolving, and I feel like I do wear so many different hats. So at some point in my life, as I look back at some relationships in different arenas, I was rejected and I didn't even know it because I was naive to it.
Wow.
And then the Lord later showed me, girl, that ain't what that is. And I'm like, oh, that was rejection too.
Wow.
Because it shows up in so many different ways.
It absolutely does.
You know.
Right.
But we have to be careful what we esteem for too. We have to be careful what we desire.
Right.
Some of the things I might have desired, I didn't need.
Right.
So that's why I was being rejected.
Right.
Because you can't want to do and be what other people are.
That's true.
You got to want what God has for you.
Wow.
I hope
you're making sense. And I love that you said that, because I
want.
feel like some people desire to be like other people because maybe they look up to that person. However, I think that it's to an extent that sometimes it's too much, if that makes sense. So instead of them gleaning maybe from the other person, or maybe like learning from them and taking some things that they might like and, you know, making it their own, then you find people showing up being counterfeits. So, and I mean, just like not being their true selves. So in that, like, in just my experience as a therapist and working with people who've experienced rejection, like some other emotional feelings that have come up were like anger. And like you mentioned, sadness, loneliness. Like, did you feel any of those feelings?
Lonely.
Okay.
And that's such a big question, because I think sometimes being a first lady, I don't know why we keep going back to this first lady when I was supposed to be Vicki Kemp, but it's okay. I've been in spaces where there's hundreds of people, and I felt lonely. I felt lonely because, especially when you pour and you pour and you pour,
right?
But you can't pour from an empty cup.
That's true.
And I know that's another quote in the world, but it's so true.
It is.
If I could give value to that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. So I've learned, go fill myself up. Go heal. Go sit down somewhere.
Right.
Go meditate.
Right.
Go be quiet. Go get in the bed.
Right.
You know, like, this is chill night. Get Netflix. Don't study. Don't open up a book.
Right.
Even
Rest.
this might be crazy. Put the word away for the night.
Wow.
We gon', you know,
right.
and rest your mind.
That's right.
So when I get into these spaces, loneliness comes because you've given so much of yourself. It's like you're in a room. I wish you could see this like I'm seeing it. You're in a room full of people, but sometimes you're empty. And when you're empty, because you've given out so much, you feel lonely because you're not filled up. You know, God is a comforter. He's always going to be with us.
Right.
But if we pour out so much to the world and others, there's instances where you will feel lonely. And there's also instances, as a pastor's wife, I'm going to always take care of my husband.
Right.
But a lot of people, how's your husband? How's your husband? How's your husband? How's Bishop? Is he eating? And I'm like, I'm good. I'm fine.
Right.
I'm wonderful too.
Right.
No shade on him.
Right.
But I think people don't realize how much some do, but most don't, if we could be honest.
Right.
How much the pastor's wife give out and share.
That's true.
And we're here to coddle him and minister back what he's given out.
Right.
So a lot of attention goes to him sometimes. But even in that, I've learned it's okay.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's okay, but you will feel moments of loneliness. It's like, do anybody say, it's 100 people in this room and you feel alone.
Right.
For so many different reasons. I've been there 23 years in ministry.
Wow.
I've been there. And sometimes you can't even explain why you feel lonely.
Right.
But you know it's a strategy of the enemy.
Yeah, absolutely.
To make you feel lonely.
Absolutely, I agree. So since we kind of like are focusing on your role as first lady by default. No, you're good. No, since we're here, I just want to ask you a question about that. So you kind of mentioned how there's times where you felt lonely, where, you know, people have kind of focused on the bishop and not, you know, forgetting that you're part of him, you're connected to him, and just as much energy he gives out, you give out too, because you have to restore him, like you mentioned. So in those instances, do you feel like rejection has showed up in those instances? Do you feel like when people like overlook you or kind of like, you know, pay more attention to him versus you, do you feel that's like a form of rejection for you?
It's all in that. Well, can I address that question to people, not just to me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So it's all about how you perceive that.
Okay.
It's all about how you and receive that.
Okay.
You can receive some situations as rejection.
Okay.
Like, hey, Bishop, and ignore me.
Okay.
You get what
I
I'm
can
saying?
see that. Yes, absolutely.
Or when you grow, I'm stuck on this word growing, because when you grow things that mattered, like, I thank God now I'm 56 years old. But being a pastor's wife in my 20s, I was like, oh, God, help me. I can't do nothing.
Right.
I can't do this.
Right.
It's too much in the gray area.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when you learn, it's like, okay, I got it now.
Okay.
Pastor LaTanya Blake Allen told me something so powerful. And she just told me this like 2 months ago. She said, wherever you go, whatever room you walk in, know your value.
Wow.
Because when you show up knowing your value, it diminishes every negative thing that may surround you.
What I mean? That was a word right there. That was a word. I love that.
So I'm learning that it's sometimes the things we've suffered, we didn't have to suffer.
Right.
It's because we wasn't built for it at that time.
At the time.
But when you grow, you learn from it.
Right.
Some things that I suffer, I didn't have to.
You didn't have to.
But I realize now it was for my now.
Okay.
It was that I might help women
see
the value also in themselves.
Okay. I love that. And I'm all about growth too. I love to just grow and learn. And like you said, sometimes we have to work through things we may not always understand at the moment, but hindsight, God reveals things to us. So I heard you mention earlier that you said that there were times where you felt like maybe God kind of like shield you from knowing that was rejection until later. I don't know if I'm wording it right for you to understand.
I didn't.
So how do you feel about those moments when in the moment you really didn't see it, but hindsight when God revealed it to you? How did you feel about that when you had those like revelations?
It was like an aha moment. Like, that's what that was.
Okay.
That was meant to really break me.
But God protected you.
He protected me.
Wow.
But so when you do look back, because a lot of times, have you ever been in something and you didn't know you were in it? Because sometimes abnormal, when you stay in it so long, it becomes a part of our norm.
Yeah, it becomes a part of your norm.
And when you step out of it and look back in retrospect, you're like, oh, wow.
Right. I've been there.
I was like that.
Yes.
I was a victim like that. I was a crybaby like that. Crybaby like that. Like, really, God?
Wow.
I didn't see.
Right.
When you're in something, you don't really see the stronghold of it all.
Right.
Until God frees you and delivers you from it.
Wow.
And it all goes back to, because I had great examples of friends, and my mom was amazing. I had an awesome father. But it all goes back to me not knowing who I was. And I know it was a plan of the enemy, because one thing about the enemy, he knows once you're literally free, you are a threat to his kingdom.
That is absolutely the truth.
So it was a setup. It was a setup.
Wow. But God. Delivered you.
Yeah.
But and now you're using your story for other women.
Yeah.
And so just in hearing that and you talking about growth and how God has delivered you, and now you can tell your story, which is, I hear you talk about rejection all the time, and it's so good to hear how you share your truths and how you're transparent. So there are so many people that are dealing with rejection right now. What would you say that you can say to them about how to overcome it? And, do you feel like once you overcome it, you've overcome it for good? Or do you feel like you still have moments that you have to work through it?
That's a good question. Thank you for asking. Because there are moments now, it'll try to creep back up. And I'm like, no, I see you. No, I'm not going there. I would tell women to pray.
Okay.
I would tell women to find them a prayer partner.
Okay.
And I would tell women to voice your feelings.
Okay.
I was over my girlfriend Regina's house yesterday, talking to her and her husband, Brandon. And we had a wonderful conversation. And we were talking about how you have to still voice your truth.
Right.
And a lot of times we bury our truth because we fear rejection. Nobody's going to hear us. Nobody's going to understand our feelings.
Right.
Nobody's going to accept it or understand or even care.
Right.
So I was so blessed by us talking on yesterday. So I would tell a woman, share with somebody that you know is going to care and see you through.
Right.
and go to therapy.
That's right.
Go to find you because there's different degrees.
Right.
We're all different. We come from different walks of life. We're diverse. Right. We have so many different experiences. Right. What might bother you may not bother me.
That's true.
What pains me may not pain you.
Right.
So it's very important that we deal with the why of it.
Okay.
So we can get out of it.
Right, right.
So prayer is one thing, but you the one taught us, Dr. Massey, that prayer is a weapon, but therapy is a strategy.
Right. And I actually got that from Dr. Anita Phillips. That's her saying yes. Shout out to Dr. Anita Phillips for letting us know that prayer is a weapon and therapy is a strategy. But yes, for sure.
But I would really encourage, tell your truth, tell your story, and it really helps.
Yes,
because if you're keeping it in the inside, it's going to torment you, and it's like you're holding on to a secret, and it's the enemy's plan again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I love that you say that. Like, telling our truths and being transparent is so important. Mm-hmm. And if we don't be honest and transparent with anybody, we have to be honest and transparent with ourselves. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I share with my clients in therapy is that when you battle with things in your mind, you become in a mental battle with yourself and the enemy, because then he's tormenting you because you're holding on to these thoughts and these feelings because you're afraid to get them out for rejection or for other reasons.
Fear.
But when you get it out, it's like you free yourself, and then he can't torment you anymore. So I love that you brought that up and that you said that.
And I think it's very important you know who to share with.
Right, absolutely.
Because that was one of my mistakes as a first lady. You can't share with everybody.
That's true, I agree.
You cannot, because listen, everybody don't have the capacity to deal or carry or even hear what you go through.
That's true. I totally agree with that.
They don't have, I'll tell you a story about rejection. Me and Bishop years ago, and this is, I don't know if you would call it rejection, because some things we call a rejection ain't rejection. Mm-hmm. You got to know the difference with that too. But I remember going to a church. I'm not going to call the name, no shade. I don't even know if I remember. And I seen who the first lady was. I didn't know her, but I was making my way to make my acquaintance with her. So I go up to her. I say, "Hi, how are you? Wonderful ministry. God bless you. I'm Lady Kemp from Bakersfield." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And she turned and walked away.
Okay, wow.
And I said then, I will never treat women like that.
Wow.
You know, but I said that for a point.
Okay.
Did God tell me to go over there and make my acquaintance?
Why did I do?
Like, a lot of times we get in trouble because we're operating in emotion.
Ooh.
He didn't tell me to go over there and talk to that lady. Me being the first. See, we take our roles to the extreme sometimes. You still got to pray, no matter where you are, who you are, what your title is, what line of work you're in.
Right.
He didn't tell me to go over there and do that. So it was a lesson learned. I took that as a lesson. Okay, God. It wasn't meant for me to go. It was evident. It was not meant for me to go over there. So a lot of times we get ourselves in situations because we had no business going over there, talking, calling. You just got to really be led. Right. Ladies out there in the world, listen. You have to be led.
Wow.
You have to be in order.
Wow.
Be wise. Wisdom is the principal thing.
Yes.
It's so important that we use wisdom in every facet of our life, and we won't be so hurt.
Wow. I love that. I mean, I totally 100% agree with that, because I think that sometimes if we actually take the time to really think and, like you said, get wisdom and have understanding, it'll help us make better decisions.
Absolutely.
So you gave a shout out to our beautiful women out there. So we have some men that listen to this podcast.
Well, okay,
so
men.
What can you tell the men out there that are dealing with rejection?
Woo! Go get some help. Y'all men, Boss up. No. A lot of times men, I feel like men don't want to deal with things because they're men.
Right.
And they're masculine.
Right.
And they have to be strong. But you're human.
Right.
At the end of the day, you're human. And don't let pride go before your healing.
Ooh, I love that. That's
because God said he hated pride. Look, so don't let pride sit in the seat of your healing when you could be further down the road, but you refuse to ask for help because you a man.
Right.
And I'm only saying this because I know Bishop Kemp has spoke on that. Like, some men don't cry. Some men don't like to show emotion.
Right.
It's crazy if a man say, "Oh, I've been rejected," but men, they've been rejected too, from a job or new employment or a career.
Right.
We're at the end of the day, we're all human.
Right. Absolutely.
But I feel like when you get tired of feeling the way you feel, men, when you want to get help, you will reach for that help, and you will be honest. I'm a man, but I've been hurt. I'm a man, but I've been in pain, and I've suffered the pain of rejection. Right. Can I read something out of my book yesterday?
Yes, absolutely.
Better than yesterday, y'all. Shout out. So this is to the men. This is out of the book Better Than Yesterday. Sometimes, this is page 56 in the hardback copy. Sometimes our thoughts get in the way. We spend too much time dwelling on the pain birthed from the experience. Eventually, we start evaluating and measuring ourselves against the ones who rejected us. That is incredibly unhealthy.
Wow.
No one is immune to rejection. Men,
that's right.
But we all have a choice as to how we handle it. That's the vital part. Will you allow rejection to stop your progress? Will you rehearse the initial feeling over and over again? Will you let rejection determine your attitude, good or bad, and dictate how you respond to others, innocent ones, in your presence?
Wow. Look, y'all, if you don't have that book Better Than Yesterday, y'all need to go get it, because let me tell you, that was a whole word right there.
Yeah.
And just being a therapist, that is something that I would tell a client of mine that I'm seeing. And rejection is such a difficult thing that people have to deal with, men, women. And what you said is so profound. And I really feel like when it comes to rejection, that pride is a big thing that stops people from getting healed from that. So look, y'all, I'm with First Lady Vicki Kemp, the author of Better Than Yesterday, New York's best-selling author.
I receive
Yes, we speak that in the atmosphere. She is so amazing. And this conversation on rejection, we could go on and talk about so many things, because it does so much emotional and mental damage to people. And a lot of times it's at the demise of the person that's dealing with rejection. And as she talked about earlier, transparency and just being honest and not being prideful is one of the things that can really help us to overcome rejection.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And I add one more thing.
Yes.
This is so amazing. I love this conversation. I want to say something to the people. I don't know why they tripping. Why you care about being rejected? Because you hear that.
Absolutely.
Okay, we all have problems.
That's right.
Just because you haven't suffered the pain of rejection, don't smile down on people.
Ooh, that's good.
I say smile down. I don't say frown. I say
that's good.
Smile down. Don't smile down on people, because that's not your story.
That's right.
Just because you haven't suffered it, you don't really understand it.
Right.
You hear a lot of people saying, who cares?
Right.
But people that have suffered it care.
That's right.
And until they grow out of it, until they're healed from it, delivered from it, cured from it, therapist from it, or whatever, it is our place to have empathy and compassion.
Absolutely.
For those people.
Absolutely.
There's people that I can remember. This is a funny story. When I was in elementary, I had to grow out of two friends. They would bully me, and they would take my lunch tickets and ice cream tickets every recess.
Oh, wow.
And so I brought that up to say this. You don't know why. So I want to encourage those that are suffering get to the root of why you're suffering.
Ooh, I love that.
Because I was like, why was I so free to give things up? Why was I not bold to say, you're not taking my ice. This is minute, but I just want to bring it up because people right now as grown folks deal with this.
Right.
So why are we so easily to just give things up and we don't fight for what's up? Those was my lunch and ice cream tickets.
Right.
But at that point in my life, as an adult, I had to search back and say, girl, why was you giving people your stuff in elementary school?
Wow.
It's because even then, I didn't know my value.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Y'all,
so,
she over here being a whole therapist right now, connecting the dots.
No, get to the root of why you feel the way you feel.
Right.
And sometimes, this is the deep part, you don't know what you're dealing with.
Wow.
You don't know that it's rejection.
That's
you don't
true.
know that it's abandonment or depression
That's
or
true.
anxiety until you go sit with a Dr. Massey and let them unpack.
Right.
The thing that's been troubling you for so long. And then you get the understanding of why and what the Bible says, in all things get an understanding.
Yes.
And when you get an understanding, you will now know how to heal.
That is so true.
Because you have a name.
That's true.
You know?
Look, y'all. Lady Kemp over here being a whole therapist, okay? she traveling with y'all, taking y'all down the road of healing from trauma and healing from different things, because what she just said is how to heal from things that have happened to you in the past. Yes. And you don't know why today you're dealing with emotional distress because of something that happens to you. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I always say as a trauma therapist is not about what happened to you, but it's what's happening inside of you. Mm-hmm. And rejection is a product of something that has happened to you at some point in your life. And so we're having this conversation today because we really want to encourage people to identify it. And like she said, call it a name. Like when I'm in my therapy room with people, helping them through their healing journey, we identify emotions and things that have taken place, because if you don't call it what it is, then how can you get over it? So,
wow, that's good. Thank you.
We said, Lady Kemp said a whole word, okay, for everybody out there listening. Look, if you're dealing with rejection, like she mentioned, it may not be everybody's story, but the purpose of this podcast is that we're having stories because everybody is dealing with something and everybody is going through something. And if it's not you, it may be you one day. And if it's not you ever, then you could take this information and share it with somebody else.
Right.
So, Lady Kemp, before we wrap it up, you have some exciting things that are coming up. Can you just share with us what you have coming up?
I'm super excited. But I want to say one more thing. Ladies and gentlemen, don't give your power away. Know who you are. It might take you a minute on your journey, but you're going to get there.
That's right.
Don't stay hidden in the thing that wants to keep you as a hostage.
I love that.
Get free. Break out of jail.
Wow.
And declare that you are victorious over anything in life that desires to keep you in bondage.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? Get free.
Get free.
Get free, y'all.
Get free. Get free. But I thank you for having me.
Thank you for
I want to invite the ladies all over the world, fly in. Can they get a boat here? Get a boat, get a ship, get a train. Carpool with your sisters, because Fireproof 8 is happening. Yes. I'm so excited. I'm truly excited. October 12th and 13th, right here in the city of Bakersfield, California, at the Greater Harvest Christian Center. It's our 8th year of Fireproof. Registration is open. You can go to harvest1.org, and that's just the number 1, harvest1.org, and get registered. Super sad that today was the last day for shirts. But you can still register. Registration is only $55, y'all. It's minimal. And I think we have 25 more spaces for our young girls ages 12 to 17. It's just a minimal $15. There's going to be vendors. Continental breakfast comes with your registration, and just come. Be empowered, be inspired. Come get your miracle, your breakthrough, your deliverance. Come get free from rejection, amen?
That's right, that's right.
But we would love to have you.
Amen. Y'all, if y'all have never been to Fireproof 8, I've been every single year, and I will guarantee you that you will not leave the same way that you came.
Yeah.
It's just so much power and so much love in the room and so much anointing, and God really moves. So if you are going to be in the city of Bakersfield, please stop by Greater Harvest Christian Center and come to Fireproof number 8. So with that being said, Miss Lady Vicki Kemp, do you have anything else you want to share before we wrap it up for the evening?
I think that's it. You can visit me on my website at VickiLynnKemp.com and follow me on Instagram at Lady Vicki L Kemp. And I'm just out here doing kingdom business as a Christian influencer. I love what I do, and I'm super excited for this podcast. And listen, ladies, let's continue to do better, grow together.
That's right.
Support one another, love each other, give each other some grace on this journey called life.
Yes.
And like Bishop Kemp say at the Harvest, let's go up together.
Let's go up together.
What else we gonna do? Let's go up
together. We might as well. So one other thing she didn't say, y'all. Tune in on Tuesday mornings for Early Will I Seek Thee. Early Will I Seek Thee. Can you just talk about that real quick?
So, Early Will I Seek Thee is live on my Facebook page, Vicki Kemp-author, and also on YouTube. You can find us there. God had birthed this during the pandemic. We're going now leading into 5 years.
Wow.
This coming June 2025. We're connecting women across the globe. Women show up on Tuesday mornings, and it's just been a blessing.
Yeah.
It's been a blessing to me too.
It has. It's been a blessing to me.
Yeah, so I'm excited that women look for that every Tuesday morning. So join us. If you're on YouTube, let me look it up. It's Lady Vicki L Kemp on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe so you can be alerted when. Yes, it's Lady Vicki L Kemp YouTube channel. So you can be alerted when we go live. And I would love to have you.
Thank you.
And be blessed.
Amen.
You can leave a prayer request. We just out here doing kingdom business.
Right.
So pray for us.
That's what it's all about, for sure. So look, y'all, this was a beautiful conversation. Definitely check Lady Kemp out on all her platforms and tune in to all of the wonderful things that she has going on. She's an amazing woman, a beautiful woman of God who has a heart for women and is out to save a nation. As Bishop Kemp says, she's like Esther. She's out to save a nation. So I love that we had this conversation today. And I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in. Get the work done. And remember, as I always say, if you need a therapist, be sure to look out and find somebody out there, because there's always a therapist that you can find someone that is the best fit for you. And until next time, Dr. Niesha here. Have a good night, everybody.